What's up, guys? Nate here with another update on the adventure truck. There she is. She's starting to look a little better with the cab down and some of the roof rack done. Made some pretty good progress this week. And by progress, I mean 2 steps forward and 1 step back. Most of what we worked on was over on the sliding deck over here. And we had some material, had a thought that we thought would work in here. And it worked okay, but not great. And what it is we ended up with this T-bar. This T-part slides along these rollers. Now these rollers are super tiny, but they hold about 3,000 pounds of static weight for each roller, which is incredible. They're sealed and greasable, greased from the inside. They actually work really, really good. And I'll show you how these mounts work later. But what happens is with this deck, like 6 feet out, it's like all the way out here, you put 2 300-pound dudes on it and it starts to get a little springy. It doesn't bend, but it just like springs a little. And I didn't really want that, having to have 2 300-pound dudes standing on the end of the deck all the time, but I wanted a little more rigidity. So we started messing around with adding some height to it. Now, this is 6-inch, just kind of scrap that we had, and we tacked it in and just tacked it into this slide. We slid this drawer all the way out. We clamped it in on the end. We had those same 2 300-pound dudes stand on the end, and it was completely flat. That's 4-inch, so I'm obviously not going to get 6. So this next week, we're going to experiment with some material from like 2-inch to 3-inch to 4-inch, varying thicknesses, to see if we can get that strength back so that the deck doesn't flex at all when you put a bunch of weight on the very end. It's kind of overkill, I know, but why not, right? Do it anyway. So to put that upper in, we had to cut out this little tube. There was a 2x2 tube that ran along here, and we replaced that with this 1/4-inch, I think by 4-3 something plate. Anyway, so this is all welded in and ready to go. And those 3 trays are going to go in here and slide out. And then what we did with these guys is, let's see where we can see one. It's good, maybe in here. Inside you can see this piece here is threaded and welded in. So these little trays sit up on the bottom there. Those bolts go the other way. They go up, and this allows us to adjust the height with shims so that as we get everything put together, we get all 3 of these drawers slid all the way out. We can adjust the height of those with shims to get this height perfect, because it's not really possible to drill perfectly. I mean, if you're off like 20 thousandths of an inch, out here it becomes a 1/4-inch. And you know, we want it to line up and be like a nice big deck like you would have at a house. So that's how we figured that out. We're gonna experiment with that this week, and that's about it for this next week. Once those get done and situated, we'll sheet the rest of it so I can put some insulation in later, and then we will put the walls on the subframe and weld all that together, make sure it's square, and then that'll be that. Then that's gonna go on here. This is gonna go outside. We're gonna finish the roof rack. Still have to tie up the coolant reservoir and deal with some of that stuff up there. I think I'm gonna change to a 24-volt alternator, get rid of the dual system. I've got a Bussmann 2412 converter, buck converter. It's 100 amp, should be totally fine for just the systems of the truck. And then once we get the box on, we can start building the skirt, building some storage boxes, do the pass-through back here, put the motorcycle lift on, and continue on sheeting and doing the outside. So that's the update for this week. Not a whole lot of visual progress, but a whole lot of good progress. And that's it. Any questions, let me know. Subscribe, like this video, appreciate it. Almost there to the 1,000 subscribers, like 100 away or something like that. So super stoked on that. And oh yeah, if you ever have to change your front cab mounts, the easiest way to do it is take this bumper off. It's like a bumper cover, actually. There's not much to it. It's pretty heavy, but it's not really structural. The bumper more is in here. And getting to these cab mounts is not too bad. Once you get that off, let your light hang down. I'm actually swapping this out. This is a winch front cab mount. It's got the two Fairlead rollers in there. I'm swapping it out for a standard cab mount because my winch is going away. All the bolts that were super difficult to get to came out no problem. This one right there, you can't see it because it's dark. Super easy to get to, tons of clearance, no big deal. Stuck, like stuck. Like broke a bunch of impact sockets and some other stuff. So I'm gonna fight with that for the rest of today. I made some bushings kind of crappily. I punched them out on the punch and kind of tore the rubber a little bit to replace that lower rubber bushing that was a little cracked. My uppers are pretty good shape on both sides, but the lowers were not so great. Somebody told me you can use hockey pucks, and I'm just gonna drill them out and try it, see what happens. So that's about it. I hope you guys are having a good weekend, and we'll see you next time. Later.